2023, we have about 50 people doing agric. And then let's go further. After WASI, take or leave it, about half will get very good passes to follow up to the university. That makes it 25. When they get to the university because of agric, trust me, a lot of them will change their courses to do some other courses. So the 25 comes down to about 15 people. The 15 people luckily graduate with BSc in agric. And during their national service, a lot of them will run away from the agric. You see them in the banks as tellers, you see them as marketers for the insurance companies. So from 700 students who came to Accra Academy, 50 did agric. At the end of the day, none follows up with agric after the first degree because you don't have to blame them. They will tell you there is no money in there. They'll tell you, I don't know where to work. Everybody's running to the financial companies. It shouldn't be like this. It's our hope and prayer that this initiative will change things. We are all part of the problem. People want to have fish ponds. People want to have swimming pools in their house instead of fish ponds. People love to plant nice carpet grasses on their lanes and lawns instead of having a vegetable garden. We are hoping that this thing will really go very far. So that is the main reason why we are here. We are here because it's a launch. And what launch is it? It is the Agricultural Advocacy and Food Security Project. And it's a competition. A competition. You don't have to do agric to enter this competition. I wish when I was a student there was something like this. But no, there was nothing like that. And what is the competition? It is the first national children's gardening and small animal rearing competition 2017. And it is for first and second cycles institutions. I'm very happy that he has included first cycle institutions because before even they come to Form 1, you've already chosen your subject. So the 50 people who came to Accra Academy among the 700, they were already agric students. That is not fair to agric. It is not fair at all. And today's theme is the development of agriculture in Ghana, the role of the child or the young person. So once again, you are welcome. My name is Nunya Gadegbeku. I'll be doing the MC with Joe Latte from TV Africa. Shall we give ourselves a round of applause for being around? Okay, so I'm in the position to give us um, the welcome address. So please, let's give him a round of applause. The headmaster, Accra Academy.
Thank you very much. I have a very simple assignment to perform. That is to welcome all of you to this program. I just want to quickly say that the gentleman or the young man who has rallied all of us around this afternoon is a true academician. He was born and bred on this compound because the father is a teacher over here. And I remember when he was in his JHS days, and we started seeing the images of the children who were dying out of hunger in Somalia. It touched this young boy's heart so much that he decided to do something about it. So the father brought him to me and told me exactly what this boy wanted to do. At that time, he was in the JHS. So whatever support that we had, the connections that we had elsewhere, we gave those support and connections to the young man. Then when he got to JHS 3 and he wanted to come to senior high school, the father came to me and said, Andrew will want to do agri. And the MC has just given you some stark realities, the statistics. He's not happy that we have only one class for agri. I wish you were in my shoes. Even those who select agri and come to this school will tell you they used it as a conduit to get to Accra Academy. Because they knew if they chose the pure science, they will not get it. So the pressure on us to even move them from the agri class, you get parents, you get people who matter in society coming to exert pressure on you. Somebody has chosen agri to come and do in the school, and that is what has brought him to the school. And yet, he tells you, I don't like agri. It is because of the type of perception, and in fact, reality. We had a program this that is what has delayed our program a bit. And one of the students stood up and said, the cutlasses and hoes we bring to school, we should stop it. Well, they don't want to have anything to do with farming. They don't have anything to do with farming. And I think the deputy minister gave an appropriate response. What I'm driving at is that gardening, farming has been looked down upon in this country to the extent that even the younger ones amongst us see it as a no-go area. Probably because of the drudgery involved in going through this profession, noble profession. But in any case, without food, without the proteins, how do we survive? So when I got this young man and the father coming back to me that they were going to launch this Food for All campaign and then kids in agriculture competition, I said, this is a wonderful thing. To start with, we've even given him a small portion behind our school poultry farm, and he's starting something practical. So I wish to associate myself with this afternoon's program. And let me just quickly add that because of the training some of us had, I wish you could get to my private residence. I have my coconut tree, I have my pear, I have my orange, I have my pawpaw, and the small portion between a small gutter and then the wall, I've put tomatoes there and they are all fruiting. As I speak with you, I've even also acquired some lands near Dedema, and I want to go into farming when I retire very soon. What I'm saying is that it is a very one lucrative area, except that the way we handle it in our parts of the world is what is giving us the problem. The marketing, the storage. But I believe that we have experts over here who will speak to those issues. Since I may not have the opportunity to address you again, it is not an area where when you enter, you are considered as the dregs of society. It depends on how you handle it. I handle myself in such a way that even if you come to my place and you see my plantain, there's an additional plot near to my house. If you see the plantain, it's just at Kwabenya here, not in the bush anywhere. If you see the plantain, and even in my bungalow here, we have started harvesting. We started harvesting plantain here since I came to this school in 2000. 2005. And for over 10 years, my backyard, the maize, the beans, the vegetables, I think some of you know it. It's just the past 1 or 2 years that I've become a bit older, so I cannot bend down properly. But that's what we're doing. And you can see a teacher, Mr. Voke, they know him. You see what he's doing over there. And for over 10 years now, I can assure you, I never bought even a tin of maize. Everything came from my backyard over here. And I still have over half a bag of maize from last year's harvest and so on. You see, so what we are saying is that, gentlemen and ladies, young ladies, and so on, this is a very wonderful initiative. And I believe that I've been able to save a whole lot of funds which would have gone into somebody's pocket. And I'm using it for something else. So tomorrow, when you see me wearing a very nice suit and I'm driving a nice car, it is because I worked on the soil, saved some money, and I've pushed it into that thing. I think those who are going to have a lot more to share with you. I wish to welcome these programs, and I want you to pay attention to what the resources are for us and take something out of it. Until I told you that things as backyard, how would you know? Is it written over my face? No. So there is nothing to lose. You have a lot to gain when you till the soil, when you put yourself to the soil and you make something out of it. You see the joy when your plants are growing and then they start to fruit. It's a joy to behold. So I hope all of us, whether you are a business student, a science student, let's see what we can do and let's engage in this competition and let's see how it works out. On this note, I warmly welcome all the people on the days. I'm here to know all of them anyway. I would have mentioned their names one by one. But immediately beside me is my former board vice chairman to the board and also the acting president of the Old Students Association, Mr. Victor Pao. But the others will be introduced accordingly. So welcome once again, and to those of you who are from other schools, if you need any facility, especially the washroom or the restroom, get in touch with the protocol boys and they will show you where to be. Some of them are standing outside there. Just let them know, raise up your hand or go to them and they will show you where to visit the washrooms. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We can do better for the headmaster. Thank you very much. You make sure you take some notes. If you have to do some recordings, do them. And like I told you earlier on, you don't really have to be an agri student to really get information from here. Okay, I'll continue with the introduction. We have again, the headmaster just did that introduction, but I'll just still go ahead. Mr. Samuel Victor Kwa. He is the acting president of Akraka Old Boys, and he's also the chairman of most of the committees that runs the school. Currently, the 85th anniversary planning committee. He happened to be the chairman, Mr. Victor Kwa. And then we also have on our midst Dr. Abebe Hale Gabriel. He's the rep of FAO Ghana and regional assistant rep to Africa. Doc, thank you very much. I'll be doing the introductions whilst the program goes on, especially the schools that are in the house and then some other dignitaries. We go on the next item, that is the chairperson's uh, response. And I'm sure when she comes over here, she'll tell you a little bit more about herself. In the course of my reading, I didn't know that the female rabbit is called a doe. I never know that. So I also learned something new. And then the male rabbit is called a buck. And do you know that when you get 15 does and then two bucks in a cage for a year, you can get about 400 rabbits? Yes. And that's lots of money. Think about it. Chairperson, please. Shall we welcome her with a round of applause?
Good afternoon. Why? The afternoon is not good with you? Okay, so I'm going to say it again. Good afternoon. Good. How are you all? Are you excited to be here today? Very well. The headmaster, the rep from the regional rep from FAO, the former vice board chairman and acting president of the Old Students Association, the CEO of Eggman Images Limited, and other colleagues on the high table. As the headmaster set the tone, he said that he had a simple job to do. So, in equal measure, I also have a simple task to perform. My task is to ensure that the reason why we are here this afternoon is conducted in a very civil way, is conducted in a very simple manner, but most importantly, that those of you who, for the reason why we are here, you pay rapt attention. So I'll indulge all of you. We don't want movements around, especially when you have the speakers mount the stage and they want to speak with you. And I bring you greetings from the Chief Executive Officer of the Microfinance and Small Loan Center. She is Mrs. Sedina Christine Tamaklu Ationu. She sends a warm regards to you. She's engaged at a function and so has asked that I represent her. So give me the reason to send a feedback to her that when I came, I met a bunch of well-behaved students. Do you promise me that? And the only observation I have made, I know the time will come, is that I don't see you holding your notepads. Only a few people have their notepads and their pens. Because this exercise, I'll need for you to take notes. So if you have your notepads in your bags, you have your pen, pull it out and make sure that you take something with you after this program. Headmaster and the high table, I fully accept to be your chairman for this occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam. I think she needs another round of applause. Louder this time. Thank you. Madam, just as I was beginning to enjoy the speech more, you truncated it. But of course, and that is how it always is. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of our sister schools here. I said our because one thing that my senior didn't mention was that I'm also an old boy. Yes. Wesley Grammar, are you here? Please let's give me a round of applause.
This is solidarity. Kateko, where are you? Let's see your hands. Thank you very much. Ghana National College, are you here? You are outside, but we can still feel your presence. Give it to them. Thank you for the support. St. Mary's. Mary's. Yes, I know. And I can see my senior smiling. Actually, when he completed school, I was in class 1. Yeah. I would like to acknowledge him, although he has been here again. Let's give him a round of applause, please, please, please. Please take a bow, take a bow. But the interesting thing is that I have more gray hair on my head than he has. Akraka! 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 The last one for yourself. A round of applause. All right, thank you very much. Madam Chairperson, honorable members on the high table, um, thank you very much for being here. We've got a very important part of this program, and that is the point where we will do a PowerPoint presentation of what we're really doing here. That's going to be done by Koblan Asamani, who is the technical advisor to the program that we're having here, and Adansi-Bonnah's show. So, with all due respect, if you sit here, you will not be able to see the presentation better. So please, let's sit in front here with all due respect, and then when we finish, we'll come back up here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Julate, distinguished chair, Deputy Assistant Representative and Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the Chief Executive Officer of MASLOC, the Headmaster, Mr. Sima Ufraje, who has distinguishedly hosted us here this afternoon, distinguished participants, the media, and invited guests. This afternoon is a very gracious day and very joyous. We are here to commemorate another milestone of young Andrew Adansi-Bonnah, who happens to be the African Union youngest ambassador throughout history. Young Andrew Adansi-Bonnah was 11 years when the African Union sent a delegation to Ghana to reach out to him and to call on him to represent the children of Africa who are the future of this continent, to assist in helping to raise funds for the children and women of Somalia and the Horn of Africa. Precisely 5 years ago, somewhere July and August 2011. In this PowerPoint presentation talks about his achievements and his contribution to child welfare development, several projects to promote development in Ghana and Africa. Andrew is a young, energetic boy who happens to do a lot of sporting activities from skating to karate and to hiking. This picture shows one of his days of activities in skating around the school. Andrew is Andrew is 11 years old when he started the project. Currently, he is 16 years and in second year reading agricultural science at Accra Academy. In this picture showcases his intention at the African Union when he wanted to be a pilot someday to fly relief items into disaster-prone areas, and for that matter, Air Alitalia gave him the opportunity to have a small session of training lessons in Johannesburg. He was born on the 14th of June 2000. He is currently a student of Accra Academy reading Agricultural Science in the 11th grade. Amongst all the club that he's affiliated to includes the Ghana Boy Scout Association, which is in the Dansuman district of Accra, the Savannah Alote German Club here in Accra Academy, the Guardian Karate Club Bubuashe, Snap 7 Skating Club Kanishi, and a choreography club in its former junior high school, that is Class Peter Memorial School, Bubuashe. Andrew was one of the few young people who have had the opportunity to interview former President before about his history and the future of Ghanaian children. And I'm sure Madam Doris Kuhn, who is here, will be a testimony to this particular session. Andrew also worked with former President Rawlings during the African Union campaign to raise relief items for the children of Somalia. This is a picture we took at the African Union 5 years ago. Among some of the humanitarian projects Andrew has embarked on includes Save Somali Children from Hunger project in 2011, Save Our Black Banks, Save Lives project in 2012, the Election 2012 campaign, and currently the Food for All campaign, which began in 2014 to 2044, which is a 40-year campaign to promote food security in Ghana. 30 years of food security campaign. Others include when he also collaborated with the National Civic Commission for Civil Education to promote peace and tolerance campaign for the 2012 presidential and parliamentary elections. This was some of the flyers he used during some of his humanitarian projects, that is the Save Somali Children from Hunger project. It's a flyer that was advocating for raising of 20 million Ghana cedis, equivalent to 30 million US dollars, to provide food, medicine, food and education for the children of Somalia. The other picture is a highlight of the Macedon company, producer of cowbell, that supported the blood donation exercise. This was a picture he took in front of the African Union. Other projects that Andrew has single-handedly embarked upon includes working in collaboration with Rio Gavaro Construction Company, actually the company that is putting up the Kwame Nkrumah Circle interchange to resurface the Accra Academy Street during the 85th anniversary celebration. He also collaborated with Pink FM and the National Blood Bank Service to undertake a public participatory blood donation site at Kaswa. He also participated in the Talented Kids show of TV3, Audition 1 and 2. Also participated in the National Karate competition. Speeches and papers delivered by Andrew Adansi-Bonnah. Andrew addressed the African Union Heads of State Pledging Conference at Addis Ababa, which was graced by the former Deputy United Nations Secretary General. He also delivered a speech on the plight of the African child and its eradication in Africa on the occasion of the celebration of the Universal Children's Day celebration in Pretoria. He also delivered a speech on West African Regional Alliance Against Hunger and Malnutrition at the British Council, which was graced by the former president before. That's at the Alisa Hotel. Andrew also delivered a speech on food security and nutrition as they affect the Ghanaian children growth and development at the British Council Hall in Accra. He was also invited by the National Commission for Civil Education to once again appeal to the conscience of Ghanaians to maintain peace and tolerance as the nation awaits the verdict of the Supreme Court's ruling. Was also invited as a change maker to participate and share his experience at the Conference of Association of International Schools in Africa on Global Issue Summit, which was hosted by the Lincoln International Community School here in Accra. He also delivered a speech and also used the platform to pass on the Food for All campaign message to all children and young persons in Tamale during the 2014 National Children's Day. He was also invited to deliver a poetry recital during the official launch of the Major Karikashiga Foundation at the Great Hall of the University of Ghana. He was also invited by the Chief Director of the Ministry of Agriculture to defend his project before the panel of 22 directors of the ministry. Also delivered a speech to the staff of the African Center for Constructive Resolution to Dispute Accord in Durban, South Africa, during a lunch held in his honor. Also delivered a speech at the launch of the Save Our Blood Bank Save Lives at Alisa Hotel, Abnorth Road in Accra, which was chaired by the former Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority. He also delivered a speech in Pretoria, precisely the Norwegian Embassy, in 2011, where he made remarks about Universal Child Declaration of Human Rights with effect on how to eradicate girl-child soldier eradication in Africa. Courtesy calls and high-profile encounters. Mr. Adansi-Bonnah called on former President Rawlings at Addis Ababa, also paid a courtesy call on the Minister for Education, had a pleasantry with the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps in Ghana, paid a courtesy call on the former country rep of UNICEF, also paid a courtesy call on the World Food Program representative of World Food Program representative of Ghana, met with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, hello, please give me a minute. There's a technical error. We just need to quickly rectify this. Sorry.
Man-made machines. Sometimes these things do happen. Please bear with us. No, thank you for your forbearance. Very soon the problem will be solved. I want to say that after this, we'll be having a speech by the teenager that we have spoken so much about. And I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the distinguished guests and the dignitaries who were in the high table to thank my friends in the media for gracing this occasion. We cannot mention your media houses one after the other because that's not how we do it. But I know and I have a lot of confidence that the reportage on this will go a long way to give us the milestones that we need to push Andrews forward so that it can be of great benefit to the nation. This morning, on the morning show, I had the opportunity to interview this 16-year-old prodigy, and I don't know the adjective to use, but simply put, I was totally amazed by the depth of his knowledge when you look at his age. I think that we as Africans and going down as journalists, we need to encourage people like this. I strongly believe that in our various communities, where we have our various schools, there are people like Andrew over there with us. The problem is that we have not been able to identify this. And so maybe by the end of this program, we go on with a new way of seeing people and identify talents in them so that we can harness them for the advancement of the various sectors of this country. I think we are ready to continue now. Great. Thank you once again for your forbearance. We continue.
Hello. Yeah, we just have to organize, I think we continue with the program. So the height of the police, this one, yeah. Very sorry, president. This very advanced. President, you can't do any speech. Everything goes from our hands. We go into. Thank you very much. Let's welcome back the high. Thank you. So go ahead and recognize one of my partners was doing the pretty soon the party for us. Yes, I would like to be happy to thank you very much for your presence.
No, I get it.
There
Was a song
Let's
the name
Let's see. Let's see.
then they watch, then they
Thank
play
you very much.
the game.
Let's see drama. Let's see drama. Attack.
Just 1 minute.
Was that
It's okay. We don't do anything.
I'm not saying it. I'm being passionate. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for all the schools. We also have some old boys. I can see my senior, who is the UK, where it is all the way from the UK support us. Please thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I also have some staff members in there. Thank you very much. Now we are here at this very point in time. The reason why we started all this, the initiative of the project. Please help me to welcome Pastor and to Adansi.
You talk to everybody.
16 years. When I was 16 years old, for the passion of my mind was a project. I want to pass the level and play some ball or something. But this guy 16 with this profile, let's give it a round of applause.
Director for the African region, representatives from the Ministries of Food and Agriculture and Education, as well as corporate bodies, the headmaster, old boys and staff of the Accra Academy, cherished media persons and students present, ladies and gentlemen. May I take the opportunity to welcome you all to the formal launch of the first National Children's Garden and Small Animal Rearing Competition 2017. After my encounter with the hungry and dying children of Somalia in 2011, due to a long period of food shortage in the parts of Africa, I have been compelled to become an Greek advocate and food security activist in Ghana and probably in Africa. To help put things right before our country is plunged into any food crisis, food shortage is preventable if conscious effort is put in place to promote agriculture. The annual National Children's Gardening and Small Animal Rearing Competition, among other activities for schools in Ghana, seeks to help to prevent any future occurrence of food crisis as experienced in Somalia and other parts in the Horn of Africa. It is important to teach children how agriculture impacts on our daily lives. You use agriculture 3 times a day when you eat your meals. If your clothes are made from cotton, wool, or flax, it is agriculture. If you live in your house, parts of which is composed of wood, think agriculture. Adults are right when they say we want our sons, daughters, and our grandchildren to be safe. But these children also need a healthy dose of common sense in respect to nutrition and food security. The school gardening and small animal rearing competition under the guidance of school teachers and other adults shall offer hands-on skills in agriculture. Not only will children be taught about basic agriculture, they will also be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Some of these vegetables and other produce can be used to support the school feeding unit in the participating schools. The more young people learn about agriculture, the greater the possibility to have more learned farmers, to have more food. And the more food we have, the better chance we have at surviving. The first National Children's Gardening and Small Marine Competition, which commences in March to October 2017, and the subsequent ones seeks to achieve all the mentioned goals, among several others. Details of the competition will be published in the Daily Graphic, Times, and the Insight. Letters and posters will also be sent to all schools in Ghana. Schools which express their readiness to participate will be supplied with vegetable seeds and simple gardening tools. At a given period, inspectors from the Ministry of Food and Agriculture will visit all the participating schools of the competition and award marks. Deserving schools from various regions shall be brought together on World Food Day in October 2017 and given prizes and awards just like it's done on Farmers' Day. It is my hope that children will learn and get ready to take the mantle from our aging adult farmers. Thank you for coming, and God bless us all.
I think that the resounding applause tells me what you think and feel in your minds right now. Let's give another round. So loud that this place reverberates with the sound of the applause. After this speech, if you ask me who Andrew's Adansi-Bonnah is, I will say that he is the future. Don't you think so? And if he is a future and we're also here to support him, then together we are making the future very, very bright. Andrew, thank you very much. Ghana needs people like you. And I think that you have served as a source of inspiration for both the young and the old. We're moving towards the middle of the program, and we got into a very important part, very, very important, because we are going to listen to what the guest speaker has to say after observing all that has taken place. With another round of applause, so loud that our eardrums can feel the heat. Let us invite him for the speech. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, MC, Madam Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Dear Andrew, why is Andrew hiding? He's taking a very very unique place in the room. Good afternoon to you all. Uh, on behalf of FAO, before I speak about FAO, how many of you do know about FAO? Please raise your hands. Oh, this is horrible. FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and the regional office for Africa. Do you know where it is located? In Accra. So Ghana is hosting the UN Agency on Food and Agriculture for Africa. Well, we will find other opportunities to give you more information on FAO, but let me turn to the reason why we are here. So on behalf of FAO and on my own behalf, let me express my sincere and profound pleasure to be here amongst you all today. Indeed, it is an honor and privilege for me to be the guest speaker at the launch of excuse me, the first National Children Gardening and Small Animal Rearing Competition for first and second cycle schools in Ghana. I wish to thank the organizers of this event, in particular, the bright youngster, Andrew, for inviting me to take part in this important occasion. I must also seize this opportunity to express my profound appreciation to his tremendous efforts and achievements in promoting the agenda that are central for Africa's development. Apparently, before I became the Deputy Regional Representative for Africa and Ghana's FAO representative, I was the Director of the African Union Department of Rural Economy and Agriculture. So I know what Andrew was talking about when he spoke about his engagement with the African Union. Andrew is definitely young. He's a young man, especially measured in terms of his age. But on reckoning the long list of projects he had been initiating and leading for fruition, clearly he is by far older and stands taller than many of us in this room. Age is not just a number. Congratulations, Andrew, and I want to encourage you to do more. I'm confident that you will continue to grow and contribute more. I believe that the theme selected for the launch, which is the development of agriculture and the role of the child and the young persons in general, is very important and timely. In Africa, agriculture is a sector on which the majority of the population depends for their livelihood. But also, it is a sector that did not really change, really help transform the livelihood of these people for something better. The way of life in rural areas continues to be more of the same, generation after generation, with little change happening. Low productivity, lack of necessary infrastructure and facilities, poverty, and so on, characterize most rural areas in Africa. Those who are fed up with this state of affairs, namely the lack of dynamism in rural areas, would run away to cities or, in some cases, to abroad, seeking better opportunities for a better life. These latter ones are young people. some evidences indicate that the average age of farmers in Africa, including in Ghana, is getting above 60 years, 60. Now, let's imagine the impact of this unfolding circumstance on the performance of agriculture in the next decade and beyond. Old people working on agriculture. So the first question we ask ourselves would be, will young people who are in effect running away from agriculture have any role to play in agricultural development? Or put it more positively, how can they be encouraged and supported to play important roles in agricultural development? Hence, the theme helps us explore to some answers in this regard. The aim of the National Children's Competition is brilliantly formulated as to spark up greater interest in agriculture among children and other young persons. We must start from admitting the fact that young people are increasingly losing interest in agriculture, and this for a reason. We can call these reasons push factors. Number one, agriculture, the way we are practicing it in Africa, is a very back-breaking undertaking. In fact, I wonder if there is any other occupation that would be as laborious and drudgery. Second, agriculture, the way we are living it in Africa, is a non-rewarding activity. We can demonstrate this by using a simple example. In Ghana, in terms of occupation, the agricultural labor force constitutes about 56% of the total. Agricultural GDP, on the other hand, was estimated at about 21.5% of the total. Okay, of all working population, about 56% of them are occupied in agriculture. And when we take Ghana's economy in general, the value of this Ghana's economy, 21.5% is coming from agriculture. This means that 56% of the population are producing only 21% of the output in Ghana. This means also that labor productivity measured in terms of contribution to GDP was about 0.4 for agriculture, while it was about 1.6 for the other sectors, which means 4 times more in the non-agricultural sectors than in agriculture sector. In terms of income, you can convert it into in terms of income. What, on the average, in other words, on average, a person who is occupied in non-agriculture sector earns 4 times as much as a person who is occupied in agriculture. So, it's not really rocket science to know the difference in productivity and in earnings. People who are engaged in non-agricultural sectors earn, on average, by far much more than those who are toiling in agriculture. This is a fact. But this doesn't necessarily have to be the case. It doesn't have to be the case. It can change, it can be changed. It's not by nature or by some kind of destiny that agriculture in Africa must be a less rewarding occupation. We know that in other countries, in Western countries, less than 5% of the total population who are farmers, less than 5%, the remaining 90-something percent are not in agriculture. They produce, these 5% of the total population produce enough, not just to feed themselves, not just to feed the remaining 95% of the population, but also to export and generate substantial amount of foreign exchange from agriculture. So the problem is how the system of agriculture has been organized in Africa. It is based on a backward system of production that does not improve the conditions of work, but also does not help raise productivity of the sector. And finally, agriculture is conducted mainly in rural areas, even though we have some urban agriculture, agriculture in urban areas. The predominant agriculture predominantly is conducted in rural areas. What do they look like, the rural areas? There is absence of almost all important and necessary services. You can call it quality education, health services, transport, telephone, internet, and so on. And we ask ourselves, are these really inspiring the youth? The youth of today is not the same as the youth of 50 years ago. They are more informed, they need more access, they are more knowledgeable. So we cannot expect them to remain in rural areas and be engaged in agriculture. The demand is huge, they expect a lot. The key is to change the rural area, to change the agricultural sector for better, so that they can be enticed to remain and benefit from the agriculture. So thinking about attracting young people to agriculture, we should be thinking of a different kind of agriculture altogether. Certainly not the type of agriculture that is backbreaking and less rewarding. We should also be thinking about the conditions of work and the conditions of life in rural areas, the availability of infrastructure and services that would help the young persons to see and benefit from opportunities. We have to bear in mind that it is not only for the sake of the young people that we should advocate for attracting them to agriculture. It's not just for their sake. Of course, they should be able to see opportunities in agriculture for them to be able to create wealth and prosperity. But it's also for the sake of the future of agriculture itself. I've just talked about the average age of the farmer in rural areas in Africa. So if agriculture is to improve in the future, young people should be there. So it is for the sake of agriculture itself, not just only for the sake of the young people. So we need young people to get interested in this occupation if we are serious about agricultural development and transformation. So agriculture needs bright, energetic leaders, managers, and technicians who can transform it. And it is today's kids in schools and young persons who need to be nurtured to become future leaders and managers of this transformation through choosing and developing it as their occupation. Schools play important roles in this process. I would like to ask the question, how is agriculture looked at in Ghana schools? I have no information. I can share with you my own experience. I come from Ethiopia. I remember when I was in primary school, the school gardens were used primarily, guess what? As what? As penalty fields for those kids who were found at fault. So if you did something that your teacher didn't like, he would penalize you by sending you to work on the school garden. What kind of perception do you develop if agriculture is treated like that within the schools. So this kind of perception and practice can only help to put off any interest left in you. Luckily for some of us, it couldn't have a lasting impact because that was what we used to do on a daily basis, after all. Coming from a farming background, helping our parents in the actual field, it was our way of life. So schools should change their attitude. Charity starts, it begins at home. FAO recognizes the school as an ideal setting for teaching basic skills in agriculture, food, nutrition, and health. Promoting nutrition through schools can create benefits that extend beyond the classroom and playground to improve the health and nutritional well-being of households and communities. Educational activities that complement each other, such as classroom lessons, hands-on opportunities for students to experience and practice and be actively involved in agriculture, nutrition, and health, are integral parts of effective school-based nutrition education. FAO shares and believes in the dream of children and the youth in agriculture, and as such, we promote a whole school approach to nutrition education in which classroom learning is linked with practical activities, reinforced by a nutrition and health-friendly school environment, and involves the participation of all school personnel, families, and the community. This comprehensive approach helps create positive attitudes and skills and helps pave the way for carrying healthy habits beyond school and adulthood, into adulthood. Effective garden learning entails an experiential learning approach, linking action and understanding, a strong element of social learning to transfer learning into practice, and a dimension of personal development. People of all ages can enjoy gardening, but children in particular will have lots of fun and gain special benefits. The choices we make today would guarantee more people being actively involved in agriculture from an early stage. Therefore, we need to act now. It's important to understand that, and I think this is very important for you to listen, that agriculture is not only about growing crops in the gardens or in the farm or rearing animals as such. Yes, these are agriculture, but it's not the only thing. It's also about the agri-businesses that range from input supplies to processing of products and to marketing along the whole value chain. In fact, it is here where most of the money is. Agribusiness and logistics in Africa is said to grow to become $1 trillion business by 2030. Shared prosperity dictates that we should be prepared to take part of such an expanding business. So the starting point should not be from a context of a crisis situation such as hunger, food insecurity, and so on. Agriculture can be a source of wealth and shared prosperity, and we can make agriculture an attractive business. The schools should therefore be part of the change of attitude movement. Through the school gardens, they should demonstrate that agriculture can be conducted in a smart and modern way of generating high productivity and incomes. They can also demonstrate by linking these gardens with agribusinesses. Doing so, they can contribute towards creating awareness among young persons about the huge opportunities that agriculture can create. On this note, I would like to once again congratulate you on launching the first National Gardening and Small Animal Rearing Competition 2017 for the first and second cycle schools in Ghana. I wish you success and I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. We can do better. Thank you. That was Dr. Abebe Hale Gabriel, Rep of FAO Ghana and Regional Assistant Representative to Africa. So I guess right now you are aware or you know what FAO means. There are some few things that before you leave here, at least you should know. You know, it is a launch and it is the Agricultural Advocacy and Food Security Project. You have to know what competition it is. It is the first national children's gardening and small animal rearing competition 2017. And it is for first and second cycles institution. The theme is the development of agriculture in Ghana, the role of the child or young persons. I know you are smart people, so at least when you get here, there are a couple of flyers and brochures. Make sure you go with them. Madam Chairperson, with your permission, there's supposed to be a second video, but we have crossed that out so that we have a smooth running and a very quick program. St. Mary's. Oh, I they do like dada beats like that. You are from KGO. St. Mary's. You see now, that's what I'm talking about. St. Mary's. That's right. I hope I'm going to go through the schools and then can I get one person to give us a solidarity message? I know, just one person. Put your heads together. So I'm just going to, I'll come back. Wesley Grammar. Wesley Grammar. Thank you very much. So you're also going to get me one rep to do a solidarity message to support Andrew. I forgot to mention one, but I realized they were sitting outside. They came all the way from Cape Coast, Ghana National College. National! Yeah, they can't hear me, but their slogan is Nananum, and then the response is Nyansafo. National! You give me a wave. Thank you. You see them, they're waving out there. They are in burgundy and I think a khaki color. Kateku. Kateku. Thank you very much. You're also going to give me a rep. I think we are done. Oh, I left any school. Akraka. Oh, Martin de Porres. That's a sweet school because they are JHS. You can give me one person to give us just a solidarity message that you are support of what is going on and you make sure that you not only stand back but you contribute and take part. One person can say that, right? Good. You all start from somewhere. You know he started at age 11 and I know you can do it. So we are at the point of solidarity messages, and then we're going to have the official launch, and then we do small fundraising. I know you don't have enough money, but we still have to, for the sake of the program, we'll put a small bowl here, the band will give us some band, we dance to shake ourselves, you know, and then whatever little we have, we will count on the people on the high table to top it up, and then we put it in there. So now St. Mary's, please, one person should come up here. Wesley Grammar, follow. Kateko, and then Akraka, one rep. Let's not keep long. Or you want me to calm down? I don't want us to keep long over here. Thank you very much. Oh man, this is becoming like a choose and pick thing. Wesley Grammar, is anybody ready? Just a short solidarity message. This thing is being carried live, you know. YouTube is doing what's it called? Live streaming, yeah. So please make sure you are covered. And your school has been mentioned. What do you call it? Wesley Grammar. Sorry, what do you say? A machine. A one person. Oh man. National. Okay, let's round it up. Sorry, Accra Academy. Don't disappoint me. Come and get it, and then we run this segment off. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. Your name, your form, your course, and then just a short solidarity message, okay?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name Adevu Richmond, a proud student of the Accra Academy, a general student, the headmaster, all protocol observed. It is a privilege to be called upon to give my solidarity message to my own member of the school or my own mate, Adansi-Bonnah. All the Accra Academy students have to say is we are solidly behind him and in everything that he does. And we will try hard to participate in the quiz as he has said or in the competition. So we give him our good luck and then we say that we love him. We are in support of him. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Accra Academy saved the day. Thank you very much. St. Mary's, Kateko, Wesley Grammar, National, you owe me one. Martin de Porres. Thank you. Thank you. So you mentioned your name, and then I hope you do agree in the future.
My name is Nana Kojo Tiekubedu. I'm in Form 3, St. Martin de Porres. I want to say on behalf of the school that we are in support of this, and we do think it's a good idea. We will actually participate. And I, for example, I'm someone who loves chemistry, but I have friends, and when I share my ideas with them, some of them tell me that, no, this won't work, this won't work. But then after hearing him and hearing about him, I know that yes, we can really do things like this. I've Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your name again?
Nana Kojo Otiekubedu.
Nana Kojo Otiekuboidu. Shall we give him a round of applause? I don't want to say shame to the schools that didn't come. I don't want to say that. Anyway, thank you very much, all. It's been a very good program. We are getting to the end of it. We'll call on a lady who has very much interest in Andrew. She happened to be, she goes by the name Doris Adabasu Kuono, the director of Enigma Images, to also give us a short solidarity message. She happened to be on the podium. Shall we give her a round of applause?
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand here on existing protocols, so I won't go through the long list. Uh, I met Andrew when I was looking for someone to interview the former President J.A. Kufuor. And the lead anchor of GBC Unique FM, called Cecil, told me, oh, Andrew is the best person to do this, to do this interview, to interview the former president. And I said, okay. I had read a bit about him. I knew about his Somalia program and his blood bank programs. So I said, okay, I would like to see something, read something about him. When they brought me his CV, it was 38 pages. Extremely impressive. Then I started my discussions with him. And I realized that the guy, he was so ahead of, what I was asking for. The program is called the Dream Big Series. It's a collaboration between Enigma Images and UNICEF Ghana. And it's a program um, that gives children the opportunity to go to an adult achiever to ask questions about the adult's life, background, how come the adult is doing whatever he or she is doing, how come he or she is an achiever. So after we went to President Kufuor to go and interview on the day, his spokesperson asked, but who is here to interview President Kufuor? So I said, this young man, and I introduced him. Then President Kufuor said, oh, I already know him, and I know about him, and I'm comfortable with him. So when we finished setting up, the spokesperson for the former president asked, but where is your script? So he said he has no script, but he will interview the president. And at the end of it, the spokesperson asked me, where did you find him? And then the former president told me that, Doris, I think that instead of interviewing another adult to be a mentor to children, Andrew should be interviewed by another young person, and he should be a mentor. So we have an interview of Andrew that will be playing soon on GTV on the Dream Big series. And he talks about his life and the things that he's doing and what he's passionate about, especially about his agri programs. And what I would do is that I would take a list of all the schools here and make sure that I give every school that is here a copy of the program, and perhaps even copies of all the Dream Big series that we have. It's on the UNICEF website, but we'll give you copies so that you watch and know that there are other things you can do. And that you can always think outside the box. And you can always inspire other people, young or old. And to be a mentor, you don't need to be 80 years or 90 years to be a mentor. And having plants and agric or experiencing those things around you is very important. Everywhere I have lived, I've always made sure that I have banana trees there, mango, oranges, pear, sweet apple, guava, the things I love, and then pepper. So I never buy any of these things. When they are in season, I give some away. I met a woman who is 75 last week when I traveled to the central region. And she told me that she's never seen a cocoa tree before. And she was born in Ghana and lived in Ghana all her life. And I thought that was a very sad statement. I don't think we want to go through that. How many people here have seen cocoa tree before? Okay, that's impressive. Headmaster, I'm impressed by your students. Okay, so Andrew, where is he? Andrew, I wish you all the best. You know that you can always count on me. If you need anything that you think that I am capable of, supporting, please, I'm only a phone call away. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much, Director of Enigma Images. I can't wait for that documentary to come out. Well, one more, Douglas. Yeah, I know you're all the way from UK to come and support us, and it would be nice to have you on our clips. Just a short word so that you can take it to England for us. Please, that's the Laosari documentary. Douglas Dodu, former student of Accra Academy. He's a resident in the UK. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I'm so glad to be here. Usually, I come into this country thinking I'm so busy, but I think around the 85th anniversary, I read about Andrew. And the first thing that came to me was that we have a genius. Had it been a white person, we would be saying it's a genius. But guess what? Amongst you is a genius. And that's someone who can do something beyond your thought. Earlier when I was thinking about what I was doing at age 16, I was here. Certainly not doing anything as good as what Andrew is doing. And I'm not going to say what I was doing. And I wouldn't want anyone to say anything either. And that goes to Senior Rizzi. Now, thinking about 16, no. Add another 16 to my age when I was 16, that makes it 32. Still, my thoughts were nowhere near Andrew's. Now, sometimes we see people do things, it's so nice, and you wish you could have done the same. It doesn't matter if you can't. What matters is if you can learn from it and make something out of it. And I want you all to support Andrew on this program. And I'm going to make sure when I get back to the UK, I shall pass the message on to them that the school that we went to has produced a genius. I know you've applauded Andrew, but you should have done it a bit more than that. I think you should actually rise up. I think you should rise up. And I could probably say that in my support, you may sit down now. I was close to 50 before I started doing some small farming. So I have a few pigs. In fact, a lot. So imagine at your age now, you were to get a sow and a boar. By the time you get to my age, you have nowhere to keep your pigs. So this is a good thing to be involved in. And I'll implore all of you to take part of it. Thank you, members. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senior. When I came to Form 1, he was in Form 5. Yes, he finished in 1980. Danjalas is his nickname. Thank you very much, Doggy. Okay, now the reason why we are here, the lunch. Right now, you've learned a lot. I just told you get a rabbit. When you get 15 does and then $2 in a year, you're going to get 400 rabbits. And I'll be hustling Andrew. I also need that one cage, one rabbit. So I just want to get involved. The headmaster says he's got a small vegetable farm at his backyard. Auntie Doris has plantains and bananas, banana trees. I think I have to get something. And our ground or our soil is very fertile. Sometimes you throw things, you don't even know about them, and then they start growing. But we see them as weed. Just like I said, let's promote the fish ponds instead of the swimming pools, and then the gardening, veggie gardens instead of the carpet grasses. Okay, now we call on the chairperson who happened to be the head of HR, Maslock, and she's representing the CEO of Maslock. We have in the presence, she's already accepted. She's going to do the formal launch. Esther A. Dodote. Shall we welcome him? Hey, welcome her, sorry, to the podium. Thank you very much.
Wow. It is so, so humbling. And Auntie Doris, I'd like to also inform you, and my secretary behind can attest to that I decided one morning to uproot all the flowers in my flower pot because the gardener was not doing a good job. And guess what I planted? Pepper, okra, tomatoes. She's right here. And I tell you, my 4-year-old loves okra soup. So 2 days ago, I got off work very late, got home. She wants okra soup. At 6:30, I can't go to the market to get okra. What did I do? I just reached out to my flower pot and harvested okra for my soup. And every day, as I drive out of the house, I said, I'm saving money because I love pepper. And so when I want pepper, I get the fresh one to eat. And it's healthy. The year before this, I think 2 years ago, I planted carrots, cabbage, and I think green pepper. So when I need my salad, I just reach out to my what? Flower pot. So actually, I'm seeing this as a movement. Andrew, this is a movement. Do you agree with me? Because I am filled with nostalgia that when my brother from the UK said 16 years he was here, and if he, at this age, is starting this movement, give it another 10 years. How many schools are represented here? About 7 or 6. And this is just a few schools in the greater Accra region. And if we take this a notch up, I'd like to see, perhaps a year or two from now, we'll hold a mini farmers, what do you call it? A farmers competition. Celebrated, just like they celebrate Farmers' Day. It should just be for schools. I hope you agree with me. I'll have my comments to make, but I have a simple exercise to formally launch this event. And the theme is the development of agriculture in Ghana, the role of the child and youth person. And the aim of the National Children's Competition is to formulate or to spark the interest of agriculture. And I couldn't personally, and I can vouch for my CEO, to want to be a part of this project, or what I'm calling the movement. So, yes. As Andrew was speaking, I picked one word. He said that it was when he was part of the Somalia food shortage program. So I want to ask you, St. Mary's, DePorres, Accra, National, and all of you represented here, what do you observe when you go around? Ask yourself that question. What do you observe? Because it is what you observe that will push your interest. Is that not correct? So I'm encouraging you that if you walk away from here, let this word ring in your mind. I need to observe something to make a change. He has started. You can start in another way. Solidarity messages have come. We support. What kind of support? What do you understand by the support? Is it financial support? What kind of support are you thinking about? I want to throw a challenge to you that the support you can give to Andrew is also to take a small bit of something important that you observe and improve upon. And with this, I'd like you to join me to call on the stage Andrew. He's had a standing ovation already, but with your indulgence, I'd like him to come, and then we will stand up again and give him a rousing applause, because I see so many Andrews here. What is the female version of Andrew? Andrea. Oh, okay. So there are Andrews and they are what? Can I see the Andreas? Let me see the hand of all the Andreas in the house. Let me see other Andrews in the house. Thank you very much. Andrew, we're waiting for you. And before we launch it, I requested that we all stand up, and they're going to play Arise Ghana Youth. And then all of us are going to do a pledge. Come this way. Shall we? Is the band ready for us? And we are going to sing it. So put your hand on your chest and mean and sing the words of the song. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a mother's land. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our mother's land. Thank you very much. We are all involved. Thank you. And so now I declare formally open. The competition 2017 for first and second cycle schools in Ghana is formally launched.
So we have seen the real thing. Madam Esther Kodo Taylor, thank you very much. Thank you very much. T added. All right. We were expecting the Minister for Agriculture, but unfortunately he was not able to make it because of other engagements. But his rep just came in at the time we were having the real thing, like I said. Mr. Kluche Kudomo is here. Can we please see you, sir? He has a brief message from the minister. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I see Andrew? Is Andrew around? Okay, good. Madam Chairperson, all protocols observed. This program was billed to have been done this morning. So the minister rescheduled all his appointments to the afternoon so that he will be here in the morning. Unfortunately, at the last hour, the program was changed. And that is why the minister was not able to make it here. And indeed, I was somewhere around Ochrekun in the central region having another program and have been called to come here to stand in for the minister. With all the traffic and everything, we have to arrive late. All the same, we are here. And we thank you all for making this program a success. Indeed, the minister remembers very well when little Andrew presented 5 cups of corn to him when he was hurrying to get to Parliament to get business of Parliament done. But little did the minister know that Andrew had a program called Food for All Campaign 2014-2044 up his sleeves. So when the minister got to know that this program is going to be done today, he recognized the significance of this program and decided that this is a place he must be, despite the busy schedules. All that the minister wants to say is agriculture is a very important enterprise. It is no longer for the uneducated, illiterates who are in the village. There are a lot of technologies that can be used to modernize agriculture, and the youth are the most important people who can make this happen. And if the youth are those who are going to make this happen, then it must start from people like you, young ones in the secondary school. That is why we are very happy with little Andrew and give him all our support for the initiative he has started. Indeed, I represent the Youth in Agriculture program as the National Program Coordinator. The new phase for the new Youth in Agriculture program has been designed to cater for the youth, to make agriculture provide real businesses that will employ the youth. And this is because the government has recognized agriculture as the most important enterprise among the gamut of enterprises that can create real jobs and absorb the youth. It may interest you to note, however, that even though over 60% of our population is engaged in agriculture, agriculture forms less than 10% of our GDP. It means that productivity in the agricultural sector must be increased. And the only way it can be increased is to ensure that we adopt measures to increase productivity and increase production, make agriculture attractive to the youth, so that a lot more youth can be engaged in agriculture as real business. And that is what the ministry is doing now. We have various programs in farmer input credit, cereal production, rice cultivation, cassava farming, freshwater tilapia farming, small ruminant cultivation production. I believe little Andrew is involved in this one. Cotton production, poultry production, mushroom production, youth in extension services support, cocoa production and social interventions, onion, greenhouse, which I believe will interest little Andrews as well and the younger ones as well as youth in piggery. What we are looking for is we want the private sector, NGOs, and everyone to support the Youth in Agriculture program so that enough funding can be used to support the youth to go into agriculture. We believe strongly that if these programs are effectively implemented, over 500,000 youth will directly be involved in agriculture and the economy will grow. I take this opportunity again to thank all the big men who are here, who have made this program very successful, even though the minister could not be here in person. I thank Madam Chairperson and all the support, her supporting personnel. And we thank little Andrew. We thank all the youth here from all the secondary school for making this program a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kluche Kudomo, the rep of the Minister for Agriculture, for the inspiring speech. I know that Andrews is full of smiles now. We're getting to the end of the program. Let me remind you that this program is being streamed live by Exigency Ghana. As I speak with you now, right from the beginning to this time to the end of the program. And I also want to acknowledge the presence of the media people here, our media partners, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, GTV, TV3, UTV, Crystal TV, ETV Ghana, TV Africa, Metro TV. You caught me, right? New Times Corporation, Joy News, Gold 90.5, Peace FM, City FM 97.3, and Joy FM. And any other media houses that are here, we're so grateful to you. Once again, let me remind you that BB Empire is also supporting this program, and we're streaming live on Exigency Ghana. We're ending the show, but we're going to a place where we have to do something symbolic for the albums. Every school will give us a rep who will come here, and then the dignitaries at the table, one after the other, will present a file to you, and then you take pictures. Now, they are symbolically empowering you to go back to your schools and start the competition, so that come next time when we are here for evaluation, we see that you've done a good job. So the 6 schools here, you choose your rep, I'll call you, the rep comes up here, and then I'll give a file to one of the dignitaries here, they present it to you, and take a picture with it, and that is symbolic empowerment of what we're doing here. All right, so it should be down here. It should be. So we want to do it down here so we can have a great background for the photos. So Wesley Grammar, where's your rep? Please come. Dr. Abebe Hill Gabriel, rep of the Food and Agriculture Organization, Ghana, and regional assistant to the rep in Africa. You're going to do that for us, please. Will you come down here, please? With a round of applause, let's invite the representative of the Food and Agriculture Organization, Dr. Abebe Hill Gabriel. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Doc. Kateko. One person from Kateko. And sir, please you do that for us. Yes, sir. So we do that. They go the symbolic presentation of the file. It's like a tool of empowerment for you to put into practice what we've just seen here. Thank you. National, Ghana National College, a rep, please. National. Let's give the lady a round of applause. The chairperson will do that for us. Madam, you walk like a nationalistic person. Thank you very much. Great. Great. All right. Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. A special invitation to the rep of Martin de Porres. I say special because they are in a lower class as far as the education ladder is concerned. But they have managed to be here, and he's even contributed to the program. A round of applause for him. The headmaster of Accra Academy. The headmaster of Accra Academy. The headmaster of Accra Academy. Thank you very much. St. Mary's, a rep. A round of applause for our sister school. Madam Doris, please come down and do that. When we were in school, anytime we saw females in this uniform, then our heart started to beat faster. Our heart started beating fast, and I know that the academician, your heart is beating fastest. Thank you very much. And the last one, Accra Academy. Accra, Accra, Accra. The Agric rep. Okay. Mr. Kluche Kudamo, the rep of the minister, you do that for us, please. Oh, okay, you're ready here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Is there a school I have not acknowledged? Did I mention Wesley Grammar? You are the first I mentioned. Is there any other school I forgot? Everybody is here. All right. Thank you very much. I hand over to my senior. He completed in 1985 when I was in class 1.
Thank you very much, Martin de Porres. We're very grateful. I hear it's about time you leave. So the cameraman, can you please help Martin DePorres whilst they walk out? Thank you very much for taking part. Thank you very much, Martin DePorres. Hello? Yeah, we're almost done. Let's end it well. I know you guys don't have enough money, but it's still worth the significance. The bandsmen, if we can have a dance tune, we just go around. The very little we have, the people on the high table or the dignitaries, our special guests, our chairperson, they will top it up so that it goes to the Andrew Fund. The prefects of Accra Academy, if we can help to guide the students whilst they come and go. Thank you very much. Let's do it snappy. There will be refreshments, so don't worry. We'll take care of that. Yeah, let's start from the back. From the back. and she's going to end it with us. Madam Esther A. Kudote. Shall we give her a round of applause?
Accra, Aka. Accra, Aka. St. Mary's. St. Mary's. National. Away. Kateko. The headmaster. All protocols observed. Just a few comments I'd like to make. I was whispering to the headmaster that I envy Accra Aka this afternoon because I would have wished that this was starting in my school, Mauli School in Ho. But the good point is that it has given me fodder to feed on. And so immediately I'm going to call the chairperson of my old students to liaise with Accra Aka so that from here we'll also run as to how to compete with the schools represented here. I'd like to thank the headmaster, first of all, for this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful program. And so just a few points that I took from the speeches and the comments that were made. First of all, I'd like to say that applaud yourself. You behaved very well. Applaud yourself. The MC in his introduction mentioned the reason why we were gathered here, and it says it's about agric and agric and agric. So you would agree with me that everything we have said here today was about agric, agric, agric. The headmaster, in his comments, I noted, said that agric, and as the other speakers have also said, we've put agric far too long on the back burner, and it's important that we have a critical look at how agric is being treated in this country, and for that matter, the whole of Africa. And for me, it was so scary when I learned that the average is 60 years. That is so sad. I never knew this until this afternoon. And as population keeps increasing, and if the average age is 60 years, then hunger is staring us in the face. So what is this that has been started this afternoon, or has been started by Andrew, needs to be replicated in all the schools. And in his comment, he mentioned that there's a need for us all to focus on agriculture and food security because it has become very, very paramount in these days. And he asked a very interesting question when he told you, or when he told us about the fact that he had a garden in his house. He asked a question, do you see it in my face? Headmaster, you asked that question. What it means is that in Ghana, when agriculture is mentioned, you see a very old person with a cutlass and a hoe. But I don't think our headmaster is in that category yet. But he is into agri. And so what I want us to walk away from here today is that let us start from small beginnings, as Andrew has started. And he mentioned that he has saved a lot, and I've also buttressed the point by telling you that I also in my home have my flower pots, all my 60 flower pots made into a garden. And it is true, it is saving a lot of money. And as Andrew's profile was being placed, I always thought that it was for Kofi Annan.
Did you feel that? Did you feel that it was for a very big person when the UN was being mentioned to Maya president? And I was wondering, is this 16-year-old? And as Lord said, when the seed was brought, it was 38 pages, he said. Last year was 38 pages. So what it means is that it is not about the age. I know that one was mentioned that. It's about the mentality we have. It's about the mentality we have. Our colleague from the UK said that when he was engaged, he was thinking about it. And so am I. Oh, so alive. And this activity that has inspired me. I pitched myself to ask, I asked myself, it looks to me that I'm not set up for a conversation. Because he has 60 years, he able to do it. Then I have disappointed my nation, and I have to do something for what I stand. And so you who is young, please, like I said, it may not be happy hour, it will be other areas to observe. Stop the Facebook, the WhatsApp, the FaceTime, or Instagram, Twitter. I'm saying that I want to do a make sure that the information you are getting is relevant information and not rubbish. You are reading. Look around you. What can you do to make a difference? So that one day we will all celebrate and the nation will be proud of you. I want you to be honest and raise your hands. Those of you who have flower pots in your house, raise your hands. Good. So you are going to do outside that you will love country. I want us to start from somewhere. When you go home on your vacation, decide that the little land behind the wall, start planting something. Start planting something. If it's not in the area of agriculture, try and develop interest in other things to help yourself and to help mankind. I'm having the representative from the Minister's office here. We are proposing that just as we do Farmers' Day, this competition, I know, is going to be a success. Take this up, promote it. FAO has a lot of funds in there. Let's support the school so that a year before you do the big Farmers' Day event, the competition for the federal schools have been celebrated and have been replicated in all the regions. And we can, in the next 5 years, be talking about farm food. I want you to take that to the minister for us. Do you agree with me? FAO, I know you are supporting Andrew, but I encourage you to do that more. And for other projects that others, students will bring on board. You mentioned that agriculture in your presentation is not only the planting, but it's added value, agribusiness. You spoke about that. So I'd like you when you go on your internet, search for this information, what is agribusiness, and then begin to see what we can also do to tackle it from agribusiness side of what Andrew has started. That is the support we say we're going to give to Andrew. I want to encourage all of you, and for that matter, all of us, that agriculture, this is our time. Our forefathers have done it, but this is our time, and the time is now. So let's all try as much as possible to encourage Andrew in this project so that 10 years from now, when we are celebrating this competition, we will have the many Andrews and the many what? The many Andrews and the many. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I know we work hard, but we do better than that. We have one last item regarding the closing prayer. After that, please just stay in your seats. There will be refreshments. Before the refreshments, we will be asking for the dignitaries of our past, and then your refreshment. And take a chance to take some pictures. It's very important. No, we have pictures. I'm thinking about pictures with dignitaries here and dignitaries there. I'm not talking about asthma and thank you very much. Shall we welcome Reverend Kwesi Adepa, the city chaplain? Shall we say a word of prayer? To God be the glory, great things He has done. Ebenezer, that's how far You have brought us, O Lord. Father, we commit this project initiated by Adansi-Bonnah. We give you the praise and we give you all the glory. We know that in us we get a good thing, you will bring it to success. So, we commit all the plans and initiatives into our hands. Our plan that we will come into fruition. We commit those who came from the various places, even as they go back, we pray that you grant them journey rest. We give you all the praise and all the glory because we know that you are in control of every situation. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen. Thank you very much. We have somebody who has okay. Yeah, this is would like to have a picture opportunity with the partner. So you stand in front of the partner after the picture, then you follow the request to the office for and you are just one to